morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir. So let's get started and tell you what's making headlines as far as the Times of India this morning is concerned. So the big story today on the front page is RML COVID reports wrong and delayed, says Aam Aadmi Party, cites retesting by Delhi government. A probe has now been ordered against 8 labs for violations. This is what Durgesh Nandan Jha has reported on the front page. Aam Aadmi Party has alleged retesting of samples by Delhi government had revealed Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital run by Centre was giving out erroneous COVID-19 test reports. Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson Raghav Chadha slammed the hospital for delaying results. The hospital in fact has now denied all charges, and there are now new rules that are going to be there for testing in the national capital. Delhi government guidelines say following people can be tested. 1. All symptomatic individuals with history of international travel in last 14 days. All symptomatic contacts of lab confirmed cases, symptomatic healthcare workers involved in COVID-19 management, patients with severe acute respiratory infection, direct as well as high risk contacts, symptomatic people in hotspot containment zones, and hospitalized patients who develop flu-like illness. That's the big update that we have for you here on the front page. Then Gangaram Mulchand to be made COVID hospitals. That's another story. Home quarantine now, 7 days for all arriving in the city. The mandatory 14-day home quarantine for all asymptomatic passengers arriving in Delhi was on Wednesday reduced to 7 days by the state government. That's another big news on the front page. Then another story here is companies get 6-month grace on defaults after lockdown. Ordinance to amend Insolvency Bankruptcy Code IBC has got cabinet nod. This is what Siddhartha has reported. Then Jayesh Chief Kin, who plotted car bomb hit, has now been killed. Shah Faisal and 2 senior PDP men freed in Jammu and Kashmir. They were freed from detention on Wednesday after the Public Safety Act against him was revoked. Then smooth flow at Gurugram, chaos at UP border. So this is a picture as well. After a month of confusion, the Gurgaon-Faridabad border saw relatively smooth traffic flow on Wednesday as police removed barricades in line with Haryana government's latest directive. But as Delhi's border with Noida and Ghaziabad in fact had a different scene with fewer lanes open and both sides checking each vehicle for passes, the tailbacks kept getting longer on both sides. With DND flyway, Chila border and Ghazipur, this is a picture from that area, and there you can see the kind of traffic jam that was witnessed. Now another important story, Indians abroad can return on charter flights. This is another big update by the Minister of Civil Aviation. A pilot on his way to IGI was looted near IIT. That's another update. A pilot with a private airline was allegedly waylaid and robbed by a group of men on the IIT flyover in South Delhi in early hours on Wednesday while he was on his way to the airport in a company cab. The robbers smashed the windows of the car, attacked the pilot with a knife and fled with his wallet containing 10,000 rupees. Criminals managed to flee the spot on their 2-wheelers. That's very important here. Then 254 deaths in a day have taken India's toll past 6,000. Almost 50% casualties are coming from Maharashtra. Only 2,587 and 8,723 fresh cases were reported in just one day. Then Syed Akbar has reported, did the virus enter India in November or December? While the first confirmed COVID case in India was registered on January 30, the most recent common ancestor MRCA of Indian strains with roots in China was in circulation as early as November 29. Top scientists in the country have estimated that the ancestor of novel coronavirus strain from Wuhan was already in circulation by December 11, 2019. Then there is an update on the cyclone Nisarg as well. Cyclone Veer spares Mumbai. Trees were uprooted. That was the biggest impact that Raigad really witnessed yesterday. Cyclone Nisarg made landfall further south from Mumbai than expected on Wednesday afternoon, sparing the city major damage, but it brought moderate rain and strong wind that affected flights and power supply in distant suburbs and felled 117 trees trees and branches in the city. 2 people were killed in Raigad district, and trees, crops and kacha homes were destroyed as well. Then an ex-Aam Aadmi Party councillor has been charged in IB official's murder. The charge sheet has been filed in the murder case of IB official Ankit Sharma on Wednesday, and suspended Aam Aadmi councillor Tahir Hussain has been charged by his murder. Then there are a couple of other interesting stories as well. Reliance's 53,000 crore rights offer subscribed 159%. Remove China apps have been pulled out. Google pulled out the Remove China apps application from its Play Store on Tuesday. The application claimed to remove apps developed in China from a user's phone. Amrapali flats have started getting funding. Amrapali's housing projects taken over by the Supreme Court, all set to get a fresh lease of life, with SBI Capital and UCO Bank agreeing to invest money to complete the flat. So this is a big relief for the home buyers, especially those who have invested in Amrapali housing projects. And then lastly, 8 killed in Gujarat chemical plant blast. At least 8 people were killed and 52 injured when a tank full of solvent in a chemical plant at Dahej SEZ in Gujarat's Bharuch district caught fire on Wednesday. And one more important story here. It was the 6th earthquake that hit the NCR region in just 54 days. A mild earthquake of 3.2 magnitude struck Noida on Wednesday evening, with tremors being felt across the national capital region. Moving on now, and let's get you the latest as far as the Nav Bharat Times is concerned. और यहाँ पर जो सबसे पहली खबर है वो है कि वॉशिंगटन में पुलिस के मिड स्प्रे से बेहाल थे 75 प्रदर्शनकारी, भारतवंशी ने घर में पनाह दी। ये बड़ी खबर है आज। और इसके अलावा इधर हो रही बातचीत की तैयारी, उधर जवानों को घुसपैठ सिखा रहा चीन। इंडिया और चाइना के बीच में जो स्टैंड ऑफ चल रहा है उसके बारे में यहाँ पर एक अपडेट है। जल्द आ सकता है विजय माल्या, सीबीआई ने पुष्टि नहीं की। और ये भी एक और बड़ी खबर है, 4 साल से कारोबारी विजय माल्या जल्द भारत लाया जा सकता है, और ये भी फ्रंट पेज पर रिपोर्ट किया गया है। एक्टिव केस में भारत से आगे अब सिर्फ 3 देश। एक्टिव केसेस एक बड़ा कंसर्न है इंडिया के लिए, 1 लाख से ज्यादा एक्टिव केसेस हैं, और अब इंडिया के आगे सिर्फ 3 देश हैं। इसका ये मतलब है कि इंडिया की रैंक 4th है अगर हम एक्टिव केसेस की बात करें पूरे वर्ल्ड में। तो इसके अलावा गिलगिट बल्तिस्तान में बौद्ध स्मारक टूटे, भारत ने चेताया। और यहाँ पर एक तस्वीर भी दिखाई गई है कि किस तरह से कई सारे जो बौद्ध धर्म से जुड़े वहां पर स्मारक बने हुए हैं, उन्हें नुकसान पहुंचाने की खबरें आई हैं। पुलवामा 2 का मास्टरमाइंड और जैश का आईडी एक्सपर्ट ढेर हुआ, ये खबर जम्मू और कश्मीर से है। इसके अलावा यहां पर तस्वीरें हैं, महाराष्ट्र पहुंचा निसर्ग, 100 की स्पीड से हवाएं चली और फिर उसके बाद कमजोर पड़ गया। तो कुछ ट्रीज अपरूट हुए थे और 2 लोग जो है मारे गए थे रायगढ़ में, और एक की खबर आई है पुणे से। 3 लोग इस तूफान के चलते उनकी जान गई है महाराष्ट्र में, ये बड़ी खबर है। और उसके अलावा गुजरात की केमिकल फैक्ट्री के बॉयलर में विस्फोट, 8 लोगों की मौत हो गई है, ये और बड़ी खबर है। और तस्वीर आप देख सकते हैं, गुजरात के भरूच जिले में एक केमिकल फैक्ट्री के बॉयलर में बुधवार को विस्फोट के बाद बड़ी आग लग गई और 8 लोगों की मौतें हो गई हैं। और आखिरी खबर एक और फ्रंट पेज पे इंपॉर्टेंट है। एससी सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आम्रपाली की प्रॉपर्टी की लिस्ट मांगी है, पूछा कि 7 कारें कहां गायब हैं। और यहां पर अब फंडिंग भी इन प्रोजेक्ट्स को मिलनी शुरू हो गई है, तो होम बायर्स के लिए अच्छी खबर है। Moving on now, and let's get you the latest as far as the Economic Times is concerned. The top story that the Economic Times this morning is leading with is can't pilot airports in rough weather. Says Adani tells Airport Authority of India it won't be able to take possession of Ahmedabad, Lucknow and Bengaluru airports this calendar year. This is what Anirban Chaudhary has reported. The Adani Group has told India's state-run airport developer that it won't be able to take possession of 3 privatized airports in Ahmedabad, Lucknow and Bengaluru, at least in this calendar year, due to disruption caused by COVID-19 pandemic. Then Cabinet OK's proposal to amend IBC is another big story here. The ordinance is coming coming soon. The cabinet has approved a proposal to amend the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code to prevent companies from being forced into resolution proceedings due to loan defaults triggered by the COVID-19 crisis. And this is going to prevent insolvency by loan defaults arising out of pandemic. So a relief there coming for various banks. Then another important story here is that a V-shaped recovery that may vanish soon. Consumer demand surges across categories. Industry fears sales may fizzle out once pent-up demand for goods is exhausted. Now, slowly and gradually, things are coming back to normal and more concerns being raised by the industry. And here, Chandrasekaran seeks to rewire Tata Group for post-COVID world ahead of a Tata Sons board meeting on Friday. Chairman N. Chandrasekaran is understood to be sharply recalibrating the group's business strategy. Tough decisions at Tata Sons board meet tomorrow. Another very important thing here, the challenge is Chandra must allocate funds to stressed firms while ensuring funds for capex. Money guzzlers such as Tata Steel Europe and JLR are facing tough environment. So a decision on these is something that we can expect. That is an interview by Economic Times with the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Dharmendra Pradhan, who says that current prices shouldn't decide oil companies' economics. Minister says domestic producers need to wait till prices normalize and that PSUs have used low rates to fill reserves. And you can get the complete interview ahead. And lastly, government officials slams Moody's rating agencies following double standards after Moody's has significantly lowered India's rating. And rating agencies, according to a government official, are using double standards and need to change their methodology to remain relevant. This is what a senior government official has told Anandita Bankotia. So that's about the Economic Times. Let's be more city specific, and my colleague Vajula this morning is joining us on the broadcast. Vajula, good morning. Offices open, borders don't. Commuters had to wait for 2 hours to get past checks in Noida, Ghaziabad, Delhi.
Well, good morning, Hina. Yes, normalcy is reeling in very slowly over here in the Noida-Delhi border, and as we all know, that both the states are reluctant in allowing people to cross the border because they blame each other for the rising cases in their cities, and that is why e-passes is one thing that has been asked by commuters to be to carry along with them when they are traveling. So that is one thing that we clearly know, that if you have to cross Noida and Delhi, you will have to have a pass. Usually both of them have stopped the border for at least a week, and that is something that we'll see in the coming few days to be opened very soon.
And very quickly, Vajula, there is an allegation by Aam Aadmi Party that Ram Manohar Lohia COVID reports were wrong. It is big.
Well, yes, Aam Aadmi Party has not just said this about Ram Manohar Lohia, but other 8 to 7 hospitals across Delhi. They have said that these hospitals are delaying the COVID-19 results. They're taking at least 4 to 5 days, and the way they're giving out results is against the protocol of the ICMR, which these hospitals and the NCDC has clearly denied this and said that AAM is playing politics over COVID-19, and which is actually demoralizing the health workers who've been working efficiently. They've said that the reason why there has been a delay, it's because that the cases are rising and there is a lot of cases that they are testing, and that is why there has been a delay, and there is no other reason for them to delay it. So this is a face-off that's happening between Aam Aadmi Party and a few hospitals in Delhi.
All right. Thank you very much, Vajula, for the moment, for joining us with those details. We're now moving on to the Mumbai edition of the Times of India. And the big story today on the front page is about Cyclone Nisarg. Cyclone Veers spares city. Raigarh bears the brunt. 4 people lost their lives. This is the top story that the Mumbai edition of the Times of India is leading with. Crops, electric poles suffer major damage. Arunil joining us on the broadcast. Arunil, it was a big relief for Mumbai, clearly, but 4 people lost their lives.
Well, that was unfortunate, Hina. Yes, 4 people lost their life in Cyclone Nisarg. One person from Srivardhan, one from Alibag, and two from the Pune district, unfortunately lost their life due to the impact of Cyclone Nisarg. But yes, it was a close shave for the city of Mumbai, the financial capital of the country. In fact, when Times Now did a reality check on the beaches, basically the settlements on the beaches of Mumbai, especially in the Warsaw and Seven Bungalows area, we could find that basically evacuation of the people staying over there was not yet done. So it was really alarming, and if at all any major repercussions of Cyclone Nisarg was seen in the city of Mumbai, if it would have happened like that, it would have led to many major casualties in Mumbai as well. But yes, the Cyclone Nisarg did fortunately didn't create much of a havoc in the city of Mumbai, and thankfully it was a sigh of relief for Mumbaikars as well.
Thank you very much, Arunil, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. In fact, 122 deaths have pushed Maharashtra toll above 2,500. Case count is just shy of 75,000. That's another story on the front page. Moving on now to the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India, and it's this morning leading with Maharashtra COVID surge in Karnataka may sustain for more days. Huge testing backlog in North districts. That's the big story here. How 44% of states tally was added in just 8 days. So clearly it is becoming a big issue for people of Karnataka as well. More and more cases are coming on a daily basis, with a whopping 388 people testing positive in Karnataka on June 2nd. Deepak Bopanna joining us on the broadcast for more on this. COVID surge in Karnataka is a big concern, Deepak.
Yes, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen a large spike that's come in. And of course, in the last month as well, if you look at the trend, the highest number of cases, among the total of the positive in Karnataka are from, the other states, and especially from Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. And that's where the government is trying to bring in more regulations, because at this point, already in the states, with the permissions given, with the travel that's already happened, there are thousands more to be tested. So the numbers could only go up in the next few weeks. And this is just the interstate travelers who are, symptomatic now, who are being focused on. So you can just imagine, if this outbreak goes in further, it could just be disastrous for Karnataka, which has somewhere managed to control the situation up until now. So strict measures are being put in place in terms of watching those who are in home quarantine, monitoring those who are in institutional quarantine. They feel that's the way forward.
Thank you very much, Deepak, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on to the Chennai edition of the Times of India. And the big story on the front page is city records 1,012 new cases. State's death toll has touched 208. 18,000 cases do not belong to any cluster. That's another important story. Toll has crossed 6,000 as record 8,700 tests positive in a day across the country. Shabir, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast. Shabir, good morning. Now there are 25,872 corona cases in Tamil Nadu.
Well, that's right. It has crossed the 25,000 mark, out of which at least 50% of cases are from Chennai. And Chennai is, under special focus as far as the health department is concerned. Chennai and 3 other districts, including Kanchipuram, Tiruvallur, and Chengalpet. These are the districts where more and more cases are being reported. Yesterday alone in Chennai, 1,000 cases have been reported. And this has been a trend for the past few days where more than 500 to 600 cases are being reported in Chennai. And now it's gradually increasing. So this has triggered a lot of concern among health officials and the people of the city as to what exactly is the government doing in terms of the containment strategy. When compared to Maharashtra, the number of cases as well as the number of days has taken to breach the 25,000 mark is very less as far as Chennai is concerned, as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, but still health experts say that the cases will be rising in the month of June and July because there are certain things that have gone wrong as far as the Chennai city is concerned.
Thank you very much, Shabir, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on to the other Kolkata edition of the Times of India. And here the big story is no fare hike, 50% private buses to hit the roads today. Some relief for the commuters in Kolkata. Kali temples, Belur Math Eye mid-June start. There is still no clarity, but there is now an indication coming that by mid-June the opening of religious places could also begin. Hit by Corona, Tata set to review business plan. That's another story. And also what the Chief Minister has said, give each migrant worker 10,000 rupees from PM Cares. Let's go across to Tamal Saha for more on this. Tamal, good morning. So the Chief Minister wants 10,000 rupees to each migrant workers from the PM Cares fund.
Well, that's right. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee held a press conference yesterday. Before that, she had also taken to the social media, where she is of the opinion that the public money in form of donation has reached PM Care Fund to a huge tune. And she has appealed before the Prime Minister, has urged upon the Prime Minister to take a portion out to an amount of 10,000 crore rupees and create a separate fund to give financial assistance to migrants, to people associated with unorganized sector and people like hawkers. So the Chief Minister is saying that if this money has come to the PM Care account, PM Care funds, and money which has come as donations from people at COVID time, because people are given the money for the country so the country can survive amidst this Corona crisis. People can survive. The money should be utilized for people themselves. So yes, that's what the Chief Minister has framed. Has appealed, and she has also stressed on the fact that in the state of West Bengal, none of the migrants are refused an entry. They are all welcomed, and now that they are coming, they would be the responsibility of the state government from food to their future employment.
Thank you very much, Tamal, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. We are now moving on, and there is an article this morning by Union Minister Jitendra Singh about the northeastern states. Northeast preemptive approach to corona management has protected this region from COVID-19 because the kind of cases we have seen in other parts of the country have not thankfully been there in the northeast. So that can be an interesting read this morning. Then news from around the world. Tit for tat, US to bar Chinese airlines is the big story. Flights to be suspended from 16th of June. PM Boris Johnson offers 3 million Hong Kong residents heaven in Britain. That's another big story here. Cracks in Trump administration over response to unrest. Defense Secretary differs with President over the use of troops. Karishma, my colleague, is now joining us on the broadcast to get us the latest from the world of sports. Karishma, good morning. What's making headlines this morning?
Good morning, Hina. Well, what we know today morning is that badminton player HS Pranoy has hit out at the Badminton Federation of India after they did not nominate him for the prestigious Arjuna Award and instead nominated Sameer Verma. So that is what is making headlines today. A badminton player hitting out at the Badminton Federation of India for not getting nominated, saying that he was there in CWG in the Asian Championships and Sameer Verma wasn't. But interestingly, the CWG game that HS Pranoy is talking about, it was a team event and HS Pranoy did not really play a single match in that particular event. So, the technicalities of what he's saying and the reasons he's quoting will need to be understood.
All right. Thank you very much, Karishma, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Moving on, and let's show our viewers what's there as far as the Delhi Times page is concerned. So there you can see the most important story is how celebs outraged at the inhuman act that led to the death of a pregnant elephant in Kerala, and how people like John Ibrahim, Shraddha Kapoor, Nimrit Kaur, Akshay Kumar, Randeep Hooda all reacted on social media, and heartbreaking, inhumane and unacceptable was the response. With this, it's a wrap. Thank you very much for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.